name is Dan Aceda. I'm a Kenyan person. I am the CEO and founder of Sema Box. Sema Box is Africa's biggest podcast incubator, and we're based here in Nairobi. Yeah, I work at Sema Box. I've always thought that the creative industry in general, as a space, doesn't have enough infrastructure. We inherited an industry from people who were basically trying to stay alive. And so they didn't have the opportunity to build the infrastructure. So I've always felt that throughout my creative career. So I've tried to make sure that we build infrastructure around the creation. So SemaBOX was created to provide creators with a space, facilities, and equipment to make content at the highest quality possible. I don't think traditional media stations have adapted yet. I think they're thinking about it, they're dealing with it. And I think sometimes they think as if we are in competition, but I don't think that's the only way we can engage. Yes, in some situations we compete with them, but not in all the situations. So I think there's still more room. I think there's a lot of room for us to build more collaborative spaces between digital stuff and legacy media. And hopefully we'll get there. I wouldn't say that podcasting is better compared to television. What I would say is that it's different. And the difference is in three big ways. One is people can now watch what they want when they want to watch it, which never used to be there in scheduled programming, where something starts at 8 and it's rolling. If you don't watch it at 9:30, you've missed it. So that's changing. The second thing is that the audience is asking for more and more. The audience is asking more and more to participate, while the television model was to broadcast. So you only participated by being a listener. Yeah. But now the audience is saying, it's our story. We want to be part of the creation and telling of the story. So digital media, especially podcasting, is achieving that better than legacy guys. But that's not to say they can't. They can. They just need to change a little bit. And then the third thing is that the market, the people who pay for production and pay for content, they are also much more interested in a faster, shorter feedback loop. If I spend $1 million shillings, what impact do I get? Mm-hmm. Which legacy media has to find ways to better deliver answer to, because digital is much faster. You can tell how good your ad is doing much faster on digital platforms, and you could tell on legacy. So that's happening. But again, in my opinion, this situation is not necessarily a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's an opportunity. So it's just about how the primary players and then everybody else plays. Yeah. Middle European person can have a video with your picture. Like the image in the video will be you because they've used AI to make it. It's only the rest of us who know you that will say, no, that's not her. Global platforms are trying to steal all our stuff. So we have to get ready for that. The second one, like I've said, is misinformation. Again, global guys they're making AI very good at telling lies, which is different from how technology was evolving to help creators. It's now evolving for bad actors. So we've got to discuss that. And then secondly, we have a lot of conversations around sovereignty. Sovereignty of the work that we do, sovereignty of the equipment, sovereignty of platforms. Kenyans don't own enough of the platforms where Kenyan content is. And that's a huge issue. Because right now they can shut us down. And it's something that needs to be discussed so that we start even investing more in local and locally owned platforms. SemaBOX already has built multiple platforms that are locally owned. We've built a podcast distribution platform called Wazo, which you can find at wazo.live. We've also, tomorrow, hopefully, we'll be releasing a file share platform for us to be able to send files back and forth. If you don't know, WeTransfer just said that everything you put on WeTransfer is now theirs. as long as you're using the platform, which is copyright infringement. So we've built a WeTransfer alternative that we're going to be releasing tomorrow, hopefully, which now enables especially creators in Africa to share your files without the fear of somebody stealing your stuff. And we'll keep trying to build platforms that are built for our people to give us an option so that we are not always dependent on our Global North platform that many times doesn't care about what we are doing. Digital media and storytelling. Okay, I think storytelling is going to evolve to be more African, or Africa is going to have a much bigger say on how storytelling is done. Digital is interesting for me. I think if we invest heavily, we will have a bigger say, but I think there are big questions coming up. Global platforms, like I said, are misbehaving. So if we don't get our act together and start building things for us to be more resilient about that, then bad things will happen. So the hope is a lot of really good Africans, a lot of really good skills. We've got enough funding around us. It's possible for us to invest in and build these local platforms so that we can create not just an alternative, but probably a better engagement with Global North players. That the audience is very forgiving if you're authentic. And that the audience is hungry for content that's not superficial. They want depth. They want nuance. They really want to dive in to the material. And that the market is sometimes very impatient with content. The market is very superficial. The audience is not, but the market is. Marketing directors, marketers, those guys are in a hurry. And sometimes they don't understand how culture drives a story. And so, it's our work to keep sharing with them and trying to get them to see things the way we see it. I leave them with the words of Christine Mungai, who was the immediate former curator of Baraza Media Lab. She said, "Tell us the story that only you can tell."